Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel Medical Classes by Dr. Srinidhi Kumar Acharya. Don't forget to subscribe my channel and also please give your valuable comments. And you can also visit the playlist and where the subjects are given in a systematic order. Now, we are discussing about autism spectrum disorders. In that, we are discussing about Asperger's syndrome. Now, autism we have already seen. Now, today we have to see what is the difference between autism and Asperger's syndrome. So we have seen the clinical symptoms of both disease. Now, what is a significant fact is in case of Asperger's syndrome, there is no any delay in language or social developmental problems or social developmental domain. It's absolutely fine. Child attains the social developmental milestones in time. Even the language developmental milestones in time. Now, this is a major difference. If you are talking in case of autism, the language and social developmental milestones are affected completely. But in case of Asperger's syndrome, there is no such disease. Mother says that my child achieved all the developmental milestones in time, normal time. There is no delay. And presently also this child looks normal. Okay. Otherwise, if you keep him alone, he is absolutely fine. He is doing all his work, and he was, of course, sometimes he is more disciplined also. Okay, he follows the schedule, and he will follow the same routine. Okay, so he will not change his routine also because that's the nature in this disease. So he absolutely looks normal to a mother. But during the school life, when he is going to the schools, maybe in the kindergartens or thereafter, when he is going to the school, there he will have the social communication problem. Okay, he is not able to mingle with other kids. He is not able to play with other kids. He is always sitting alone or doing his own work. Okay, or in the later part of the school life, when he has given with the more challenges. Okay, so during the school life, on social and communicative skills, so he will have the problem where the group work is required, group teamwork is required. Okay, where communication is required, so then he will have the problem. Suppose if he understand everything what teacher is taught to him, but suppose he has got a doubt that he has to ask with the teacher, he is not able to ask because asking requires a social communication, isn't it? Communication. So there he will have the problem. He is actually his problem. He cannot address his problem with the teacher. So now in that part he may have the problem. Otherwise his IQ is not. His IQ is normal. Okay. Now there is, suppose sometime teacher says, if you have any doubts, please write it in a paper and then you give it to me. Now this child is good in that. If the teacher says ask some questions, doubts, so he is not able to ask the doubt. But if the teacher say write that doubt and give it to me, then I will address it. Then this child is able to do it because writing does not require any social communication. Now this is such a very interesting factor. Okay, so IQ is absolutely normal. Usually the incidence of Asperger's syndrome, what we see is it is 1 in 68 children according to some of the researchers. These are the basic differences. Okay, now in the routine life actually we will divide the children into two types. One is neurotypical and another one is neuroatypical. So what do you mean by neurotypical? Neurotypical means a socialized child. He makes the friends. Okay, he is very free. He's very sometimes he's talking more or very good talkative, and he likes the company. He wants the group play. He likes the group play, teamwork, etc. So such group of children usually we call them neurotypical. Okay, so but what do you mean by neuroatypical? The Asperger's group of children, so they come under the category of neuroatypical because they are not good at socializing. They don't want to make the friends. They want to be alone always. Okay, they want the isolation. Okay, so now this is how. So Asperger's, they come under the category of neuroatypical. So now we have got different criteria for the diagnosis of this Asperger's syndrome. So criteria number one, first criteria is a persistent deficits in the social communication and social interaction across the context, manifested by all the three of the following. Okay, he has got persistent deficits in social communication. If somebody asks any question or routine information also, it is just like a mathematical question to him. So he will be totally blind from where I have to start and what words I have to say, how I should say. Okay, that's a typical feeling. So he has got deficit in social and emotional reciprocity. So because he has problem with the social communication, he opts that it is better to keep quiet. Because I have got problem in talking, I cannot interact, so let me listen only, I will be keep quiet. So this is what actually he decides at the end of the day. Okay, so deficit in social and emotional reciprocity. If somebody in front of you is talking and he is smiling, this fellow will not smile at all. He will be the serious face, expressionless face. Now, deficit in the non-verbal communication or communicative behaviors used for the social interaction. That is also deficit. Deficits in developing and understanding and maintaining the relationship. Okay, usually kids develop a relationship, friendship, or whatever may be. But this child will have problem in developing and understanding and maintaining the relationship. Although he had a friend, but he don't know how to continue that friendship. Okay, so because we know that friendship, sometimes the pulling will be there, leg pulling will be there. Sometimes they make jokes on you. Sometimes they praise you. Sometimes they tease you. These are the part and parcel of the friendship, isn't it? When the friendship is developing, we should not take it seriously. But this man has got the problem. He is not able to maintain that relationship because main thing is he has got social communication problem. He will not talk at all. So when you are not talking, how the friendship will go forward? Okay. So now they are such who found something which is more interesting than socializing. Now this is the main thing. Another criteria. So Asperger's group of children are those who found something which is more interesting than the socializing. They develop the interest in that particular area where they have got the interest, and they are not worried about the socialization. Okay, everybody is interested in playing, but this man may be enjoying or he is interested in looking at the stars or looking at the trees or looking at the birds. So he focuses himself towards his area of interest, although rest of all these friends are involved in one particular work because they are all socialized. But this man is having interest and also interest on his area of interest. So this is criteria number 1. Now to look into this deficit in the social emotional reciprocity, suppose I will give an example. Okay, there are two groups of Aspergers. Okay, there are two groups of Aspergers. One group is playing over there and they don't want to socialize, and so they are withdrawn and introverted and isolated. Both are Asperger's group only. In the one group, this is the problem. What is? They are not interested in socialization, no communication. They are totally withdrawn, introverted. So they are doing whatever they are according to their area of interest. Second group of Asperger's is, this is also seen. Second group of Asperger's is, they want to play and socialize. But he says, see, very interesting this is. Usually in Asperger's syndrome, we find two groups of people. One group I already told. So they are absolutely non-socialization, withdrawn, introvert. So they are busy with their own field of interest. Another group is, it is not like that they don't want to socialize. They want to get socialized. They will be there in the group. Okay, if 10 members are there, this is one fellow. He is also one fellow. Okay, so but in that group, this particular man, Asperger's, he is only ordering. He is not doing anything. He is ordering to everybody, you do this, you come here. Okay, so you be silent. I will tell to teacher, don't make noise. So they are telling this type or giving this type of commands in a group with expressionless face. Okay, so they want to be there in the group, but still they cannot absolutely able to communicate. They are trying to communicate with, but when they are communicating with expressionless face, And also, as they have got problem in communication, they talk very less, simple words. Sit down, be silent, I will tell to teacher, you go there, sit here, only this much. So this is another group. Okay, so they don't have any feeling on you, and they go on giving the instructions. In a social gathering means 10 people, kids are playing means so many things are there. if, if you are go on giving the directions only, or if you are go on giving making point of his mistakes only, then social relationship cannot develop, isn't it? But this kid will do the same thing. So when you point out their mistakes, now suppose they are very good in pointing out others mistakes, but for the Asperger's kid, if you point out his mistake, he will be upset and he will leave that group. Okay, he will be upset. So this group won't get socialized, but they fail to get socialized. Got the point? So two groups are there. One is absolutely we can group them into Asperger's, so they are not worried at all. Another is actually they will try to get socialized, but because of the social communication problem, they are not able to do so. Okay, so we find so many people, so many kids in and around us. Okay, so this is one thing. The next portion of the same we will continue in the same class. It's quite interesting. Don't leave watching it. Please watch all the episodes, because this is totally interesting subject, and also we find such kids in and around us. Okay, so if you know about this subject, definitely you are able to identify such kids and you can help them. Thank you very much. We will meet in the next class.